Good afternoon. Today is Thursday, April 24th, and I'm offering this video as a few announcements related to things going on to pray for Pope Francis and his happy repose. Please don't look at my hair too much because I've got about 3.5 more weeks before I get my hair cut by our outgoing fifth graders. So I wore a hat earlier and now it looks like junk. Anyway, Pope Francis's funeral will be this coming Saturday, the 26th of April, and it'll start at, I think, 10 a.m. in local time in Rome, which would be 3 o'clock a.m. Eastern time, which would then be another hour behind at 2 a.m. So that's how, this is according to EWTN. And I know that other agencies, such as like CBS, NBC, those will be broadcasting the funeral also on their own networks. EWTN is the Eternal Word television network, I believe, headquartered out of Alabama. And so it is a Catholic entity in and of itself. So that might be a good channel to look up. I'm sure they'll broadcast it on YouTube as well. Excuse me. Other things that are coming up to pray for Pope Francis and his happy repose. So in this YouTube video, there will be some links below where you can learn more about what's going on and how to kind of continue to engage in what's going on in the upcoming conclave as well then. So there's a video that I will link to from the Catholic University of America. They're headquartered out of Washington, D.C., and their campus is actually near the National Basilica of the Immaculate Conception, and also near the Dominican House of Studies, which is where one of our past 40-hour speakers lives. And Father Patrick Mary Briscoe, the one that I just referred to, is actually over in Rome because he works with our Sunday Visitor. He's the editor for that publication, so he's already over there experiencing some of these things going on in Rome. And so I'll put that video, it's about a 45-minute video or so, offered by a member of the Faculty of Canon Law, Dr. Kurt Martins. I believe I follow him on X, formerly known as Twitter. I still call it Twitter. It's just similar to, it took me a long time to eventually call Sanford Hospital down in Sioux Falls in that network. Actually, Sanford. I grew up with it being Sioux Valley, and so that's just how my mind works in some of those things. But going back to the other events related to Pope Francis, so on EWTN, and these are all Eastern time, so just for your reference, at 8 a.m. Eastern time, there will be a Mass for the repose of the soul of Pope Francis. That will take place actually headquartered at Irondale, Alabama, which is the headquarters of EWTN. And then right after that, there will be a rosary for his happy repose. And then at 4 p.m., there will be, it looks like an interview of sorts. I don't know who with, but it'll be about before he was the Pope. And then lastly, at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, a Mass of Thanksgiving for the life of Pope Francis. So some of the things that are going on now, you may have heard about it, are these general congregations of the cardinals. So this is nowhere close to the conclave. We're not even there yet. What first has to happen is the Pope's funeral, and that's going to be this coming Saturday. And then after that, the cardinals, they should all be there pretty soon, at least by tomorrow, which is Friday, in anticipation of his funeral. And for cardinals, we know that there's about 130 throughout the world, and not all of them will be voting in this upcoming election. The reason for that is because once they reach the age of 80, they are no longer able to be electors. And I don't think they can be elected either if they're above the age of 80. And so that's a point of trivia. Also, what happens during this time is some of the functions of the Vatican, they don't happen anymore. So One thing that doesn't go on now is the appointment of bishops. So even if something was already prepared and is going to be announced maybe on Easter Tuesday, the day after the Pope died, that has to wait. That announcement may still be made. I don't know, if that's ever happened. That's kind of a secret part of the working of the Vatican. But that's an example. And also, this coming Sunday would have been the canonization of Blessed Carlo Acutis as Saint Carlo Acutis. That'll be postponed until a reasonable time because we do need the Pope for that. Men and women can be beatified without the presence of the Holy Father or him leading that Mass. But canonizations of saints definitely need the Pope's presence. And that gets into another topic for another video, which I'll probably do very soon, is what does the Pope do? I think this question came from a high schooler from our faith formation program last night of, on a given day, what does the Pope's schedule look like? What does he do? Why does he do those things? All that stuff. So that's something I will address later on. There's a few other things I was going to mention. Things. The only thing that really don't cease within the life of the Church is what's called the Apostolic Penitentiary. So this isn't the penitentiary where people go because they've sinned, but it's actually the conduit of forgiveness for some reserved sins or even ecclesiastical crimes. So, for example, if a person were to desecrate the Eucharist, how they could be reconciled or rehabilitated into the Church, there's a process that the penitentiary offers. So those types of things don't cease because it relates to the forgiveness of sins. And that can never be something that is withheld or prevented from happening in the life of the Church. So those are a few things that are going on right now in terms of how the Church is progressing towards the Pope's funeral, and also in the within the links that I will offer below. I will. It looks like the work has already been done for Pope Francis's burial site, so I will get that taken care of as well. I'll post a picture of that. Excuse me. And then I think that's about it for some of the updates that are going on. So again, the Pope's funeral will be this coming Saturday. I'm just going to pull up the graphic again. So it'll be, his funeral mass will begin at 3 a.m. Eastern time. And I would encourage you to watch EWTN, or I will try and get the Vatican's links, whether it's the Catholic News Agency or the Holy See itself, their links and options for streaming on YouTube and that kind of stuff. So hope this has been helpful. If you do have any questions about what's going on, I'll try and give it a good whirl at an answer. But again, look at the link below also for that YouTube link to the presentation by Dr. Kurt Martens from the Catholic University of America. That'll go really in depth of what happens and why and all those kinds of things. So anyway, hope you're doing well and enjoy. We've been getting some rain, which is a great blessing, and we will keep one another in prayer, and obviously keep Pope Francis in his happy repose in prayer as well. God bless.